Hi there. In this video, we're going to talk about an aspect of home care services that is not really popularized or people don't talk about it a lot. And what is this? It's DDD services. What does DDD stands for? It stands for Division of Developmental Disabilities. This is actually a state-funded program that provides long-term support for services with developmental disabilities so they can live safely and meaningfully in the community instead of institutions. If most of you don't know, New Jersey came up with a strategy or a plan that we need to have our individuals in the community rather than being institutionalized. Every state has its own version of DDD. Sometimes they call it DDS or developmental services, but the mission is the same, which is to support independency, promote community inclusion, provide caregiver relief, and as well maintain quality of life, right? We always want to maintain quality of life, respectful of the person's abilities. Who qualifies for these services? In most states, including New Jersey, DDD services are available for adults over the age of 21 and older. Individuals with a diagnosis or have been diagnosed with developmental disabilities such as autism, cerebral palsy, Down syndrome, intellectual disabilities, among others, right? The conditions must have started before the age of 21. So some people could have been diagnosed after some age, but it has to be after the age of 21. You have to be Medicaid qualified, eligibility varies. So, just to know, some individuals may transition to DDD services as at early age of 18 due to special circumstances. This program is available, right? So, what services are included in DDD? DDD services are not one size fits all, which is a fantastic thing. They are based on the individual's need, right? So, first of all, let's talk about community based support. These services, they do allow individuals to stay in their home with their families and thrive at home, right? What do they include? In these services, we actually provide personal care assistance, we help with bathing, dressing them, meal prep, and daily living support. There's also transportation involved in these services. In many cases, parents or family members can become paid caregivers. So I know most parents, I've met with them, they don't want to remove their family members or their care loved ones at home. They would utilize these services. Individual support services. This actually focuses on community inclusion, right? For example, taking a client to the movies, shopping trips, computer games, or social activities. Anything in the community, like in the community events to build skill, this is in these services. The goal of social development and community engagement is key with these services. Okay, let's talk about respite. Respite services is respite is actually relief for the caregiver. Think about it as a short-term vacation for families, time to rest, recharge, right? Prevents burnout, which is key, right? Because if you're burnt out, how are you going to help the person who needs your help, right? So caregivers often experience burnout due to what? There's lack of education about the condition, right? No relief or support, and sudden health changes, or even not knowing what services are available for them. There's also chronic illness progression, there's advanced aging of the parents who are taking care of a child who has developmental disabilities. Respite protects both the caregiver as well as the individual receiving this care. Respite services could be actually done at the patient's home. Some people would choose a hotel location. It doesn't have to be in a facility or a group home. So there's also day programs. This is structured for daytime programs that provide social interaction, skill building, activities, and supervised care during work hours. Some of them do job coaching as well, right? And also these residential services if you need it, right? For individuals who cannot remain safely at their home. So they have care in the group homes. One thing that we need to understand, transition planning is very important. One of the biggest gaps family face is when the child turns 21 and they exit the school system. Some stay in the school programs for the age of 20 to 22, but it comes to an end, right? We have to graduate high school, and without planning, services can be delayed. We don't want that. That's why transitional fairs, education session, early enrollment, and planning are critical, so the continuity of care is not disrupted. Most of these individuals, they're already oriented to certain aspects of life. So you don't want to disrupt their sequence of life, and then reintroducing it will be difficult. So families should start planning years before graduation. They normally say between the age of 18, 19 is a good time to start talking about transition. Why DDD services matter? Without DDD services, they become overwhelmed. The caregivers get burnt out. Individuals, they get isolated because they're not interacting in the community, and the quality of life does decline, right? And with DDD, families receive structured support, individuals stay in their and they're included in the community. We have caregivers who can work and maintain a work-life balance, right? And independency is preserved, right? DDD is not only in New Jersey, right? We have it in other states, and every state have their different requirements. So my best advice is to reach out to the Division of Developmental Disabilities. Some states will call it under a different name, but the services are the same. So just remember, it's state funding, waiver programs are available, Medicare guidelines have to be adhered to, and there's availability of providers. So just to remember, always check with your state of developmental human services website for any requirements for you to be enrolled into these services. As we are doing this transition time, this is the transition time. You're seeing a lot of transition fairs. This is a call out to all the parents. A survey was done. Approximately 30,000 individuals who qualify for these services are not getting these services. And I do believe it's to lack of knowledge, or just more know. Maybe people are aware that the services exist, but they don't know the extremity of how beneficial it could be for them. So as for me, this is Fain from Tinash Home Care Services, a DDD approved provider in New Jersey. If you have any questions, feel free to reach us out.